Hey folks, today is October the 21st, 2018, a Sunday, right after 5. I've been accepted into the Seeing Eyes October 22nd, 2018 class. It's from October 22nd through November the 8th. And I will be flying from DFW Airport to New Jersey tomorrow. So basically the Seeing Eye is a training facility for guide dogs and their handlers to train, and they start out with their own breeding colonies. They have their own breeding station there, and they breed the pups until they're about 4 years old, and they have, I think, about 6 litters until they retire. Anyway, so they get after the puppies are born, they have tons of exposure to noises and different floor textures and different clothing that the staff dresses up in. They have lots of playtime. They get handled a lot from head to toe, so they can be used to people touching their feet and their ears and all the different sensitive places. And then that's about it for the first 8 weeks. And then after they turn 8 weeks and they're weaned, they go to their puppy raiser family. And that is where the dogs, the pups, are given to a volunteer puppy raiser family that has joined a local 4-H, and they do it around a few different states: New Jersey, Maryland, New York, Pennsylvania, I think, and maybe Massachusetts. I'm not sure about that, but very close states. And they take the pups to different meetings, and they put them through obedience, and they socialize them through about 16 months old or so, from to different things like restaurants and stores and traffic, buses, trains, other dogs, children, loud noises, and different things they expose them to, so that they'll be stable and steady for the blind handler. And then they go back usually about between 14 and 18 months, and they go back to New Jersey to the school, and then they start the 4-month very intense, rigorous training program where they start learning about the harness, and they start learning how to stop at curbs and how to go around obstacles. And about halfway through the training, about 2 months in, the instructor puts a blindfold on and has a supervisor instructor follow them, and they do a blindfold training route. And that kind of tells the instructor where the dog is at in their learning and what they need to work on as far as what skill sets they need. And then 2 more months of training, and during all this, they have all kinds of veterinary exams and testing and everything to make sure that they're healthy. And after the 4th or 5th month, just depending on how the dog is doing, they'll do a final blindfold route with the instructor. And if the dog passes that final pretty much test, it is, then the dog is labeled as class ready, and then they get matched with a handler. And they get matched different ways by the person's walking speed and by their gait, their personality wise, if they're active or if they're not, and what kind of job they have and the home environment. And They get matched also by how strong the person is and how much pull they want in that harness handle. In order to feel how much turning and moving the dog is doing, the harness has to be constantly, the handle has to constantly have tension on it, and there's the pull strength, and that's how they match also. So there's a big process they have to go through, and then once the student gets to the school on a Monday, they do Juno walks where the instructor has a harness and everything, and the student holds onto the handle and the instructor holds onto the other end and takes them for a final walk to make sure that they've matched the right dog with the right person. And they do a couple of Juno walks over the course of Monday and Tuesday, and then they do a lot of different lectures and classes on dog care, and they get issued equipment and stuff like that. And then on Wednesday, after they have breakfast and one more class, then they get their dogs. And so that's where I'm at now. Is it's the night before. I've already packed, everything's ready to go, and this is my first video I'm gonna be doing over the course of my 18-day training. Since I'm a retrain, this is my 4th guide. I only have to be there for 18 days, but new people that have never had guide dogs have to be there for 24. So I'll be leaving a week before the new students. And at the very end of my training, we'll get to all the retrains and the new students separately. We'll get to go to New York City and do a final huge walk thing there, and then we'll be done. So we'll see how it goes, and I will do another video here probably the next day or two, and we'll see how it goes.